We did it, ladies and gents. The Camaro is legal to drive on the streets. It is inspected, tagged, insured, all of the things that you're supposed to do to drive legally on the streets. I actually took it to lunch yesterday. Drove into town, drove around town. I didn't have issues with the overheating. It drove fine. The only issue as far as like driveline wise is the throwdown cable is damaged, so I couldn't actually hook it up so it would throw down properly. Other than that, man, we cruised at 70. We hit 55. We went through stop and go traffic. No issues at all. Brakes work great. Everything's looking good. So I would say that we finished our punch list. Now we have a new list. It's called troubleshooting list. And the issues are, actually I'll just pop it up here and then I'll tell y'all. The issues are the tires are old. They got some dry rot on the sides. I'll show y'all that. The third light on the back, up in the window, is not coming on. I don't know if that's just a simple burnt out bulb or we got to figure out power to it. Defroster doesn't work. Obviously, it's just blocked off on the hose. It's just looped back to itself. So obviously we can't even get heat to the cab right now. And today I think it was like 49 when we woke up. So actually pretty chilly for a late March day in Texas. Passenger window won't roll down. I think one of the videos, I guess maybe the last one, I was messing with the switch a little bit. I don't think I have power to the switch, so potentially the motor's fine. We just have to find the brake and the where the power's coming from. The rear hatch lock assembly, so it has, if you've never looked at these Camaros, I didn't know until I owned one. The rear hatch actually draws the lock assembly actually draws the hatch down whenever you shut it. So it shuts and then pulls it down real tight. I assume for air tightness. I don't know. So that's going to have to be addressed. And also the switch on the inside doesn't do anything to it. I think that's because the whole assembly doesn't have power. We don't have AC. We want to fix that. Cruise control doesn't work. It does have a vacuum controlled cruise control unit over here on the side. I have zero experience with. I don't know what it does. So we want to look into that. And then the radio. I think like 2, maybe 3 speakers work. They're very weak. And then of course it's got the factory head unit, which actually I kind of dig. If it worked, if everything worked properly, the stereo sounded fine, I think I would probably leave the factory in there, except for it doesn't have any way to put a auxiliary connection to it or Bluetooth, anything to that effect. So yeah, we gotta step it into the 21st century and get that Bluetooth connection available, because nobody wants to ride around without, able to put on maps or throw a podcast on. It's just so handy to have it nowadays. We're all used to it. So yeah, let's walk around. We'll look at the issues. We'll get a kind of a rough estimate of what we think we're going to need to do on these issues. I want to try and fix that window, or at least confirm that we need parts. So get power to it, see if it moves, and then we can figure out, what we need. And then for the defroster and air conditioning, we may gamble on the defroster and try and go ahead and just throw some hoses to it and see if we can get heat into the cab. I do know we'll have to figure out where the vacuum lines are that, control the internal vents. They are not coming on. And I don't even know for sure that is a thing. I know that when I put it on vent, it didn't blow out of the vents. I can hear the fan blowing. So maybe we have a ducting issue. Who knows? We'll just have to figure it out. Yeah, let's look at this stuff and I'll show you around. All right, for these tires, I feel like you can probably see it, but just I hit it with a little glass cleaner just to get the dirt and whatnot off of it so we can see clearly what we're looking at here. All right, now, if you take a close look, you can see all that cracking, you know, just a tire that's set up a long time. And that's what I've always described as dry rot. You can really kind of see it right in there. Pretty good stress cracks in the rubber. They are holding air. I think they're fine for putting around here in my little small town where we don't go more than 35 miles an hour. But it is a safety concern to put it on the highway too much more. So I think for the most part, anything over 55 we're gonna avoid until we get some fresh tires. Now, what I would love to see, you can look down the side of this car. You know, these tires are stuck in there. I would love to have them out, like right at the edge of the back, or maybe even wider. Probably just to the edge of the back. Being a little 305, we can't go too crazy big on these tires on the car. They're just, I mean, it has a little bit of get up and go off the bottom end, but it's not fast, it's not powerful, so it's not like it needs a huge tire to turn. The rear light, let's get in this car and I'll let you see what I see. All right, it is tiny back here in the back seat. In fact, even if I was to sit up, if I sit all the way back in the seat where somebody could sit in front of me, I cannot sit all the way straight. This is 100% just for if somebody is trying to claim, no, it's not a sports car, it's a four passenger vehicle. That, or if you had some small kids you want to grab with you. Okay, so looks like a couple of Torx heads, and I can pull this cover off, and then we can get to the light. Well, maybe we'll solve some problems right now. All right, I don't know if you're gonna get an up nostril shot here, or this will be good quality entertainment, but we will pop a couple of these Torx heads out. Oh, easy peasy. Well, that's kind of weird. Ugh, a bug just fell out of it. I can't tell. Oh, I think that's a, yeah, okay. Oh yeah, easy. It's just a light bulb. And it's definitely burnt out. And the body of the connection is starting to go bad. Oh, I say it's burnt out. I don't think that it is burnt out, actually. Let's see. I don't. Well, the filament seems to be connected, so maybe a different issue. All right, so I guess we're going to put on our list that we may need to check for power coming to back here. I don't even know which way it comes through, so we'll check in on that. And then I don't know if y'all can see. Okay, clearing everything up. I don't know if y'all can see in this connection or not, but the connection itself is just beat up. So maybe we have a bad, and maybe we just have a bad, you know, connection right here at this bulb itself. That is always possible. Looks like this bulb is one side, the other. So we're going like this. Maybe we'll just try and put some power back to it. Let me go grab the keys. All right, so I tried the old unplug it and plug it back in thing. Did not work. All right, for the air conditioning, defroster, that kind of stuff, it seems like everything's functioning. When I turn the vent on, I can hear the fan spin up. It speeds up. but it's only blowing out of the defroster. So as far as getting the defroster itself to work, I think we can do that because I think that's the default vent if there's no vacuum. The radio works. We'll turn the volume all the way down on that so that I don't get any kind of stupid crap. But the radio works. It changes channels. I haven't tried the CD player, but it does function. But I think maybe one speaker is working, maybe two. So you can listen to the radio, but it's not much. The passenger side window roll down, so if you push the button, no power, but when I push the button, do you hear that? The actual fuel pump binds down, so, and the voltmeter, see it move down and back up. Whereas if I hit my passenger or driver side, it doesn't actually draw the voltmeter down at all, but it does move up and down. All right, so I think that's probably going to be a motor. I will have to double check to make sure I'm getting voltage to where the voltage goes here. And then, as you can tell, this was a factory cruise control car. And we have a factory vacuum controlled cruise control cable that would pull the throttle back to adjust it. I don't know how that'll hook up. This was on a fuel injected V6, but it was a cable operated throttle. So the cruise control is cable operated, so I think it would hook up to a carb the exact same way, and it would be able to shift that around. We did get a OEM replacement high pressure gas contained yada 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 lift supports for the front hood. I just did a lift support swap for the rear hatch video. Probably put that out pretty soon. The only thing I did probably differently than maybe some is right there where the bottom is connected. I used the clip that was already on the car. They had a clip just like this on the bottom, but it was spun out 180 degrees. I didn't like the way it was holding it, so I just plucked those off, used the ones that were already on the car. That seemed to work well. I guess I should actually add two more things to the list. We're going to have to do something about the power steering pump. It is leaking, and we are going to have to get the trans cooler connected somehow. It is also making a little mess. In the last video, you probably saw that loop I made. She's leaking, so we need to deal with that. These are the rear struts that I did. I'll have a full video on how to install and remove those. Pretty simple, but I feel like it's always nice to have a little quick learner's guide before you do something, so that'll be in there. I think whenever I order the motor for the passenger side window, I'm gonna go ahead and replace that seal on both sides. All right, I realized this was just pretty much just a talking video. We've been really busy on this thing. Probably just gonna enjoy it for a couple of days. We're gonna go ahead and order a window motor. We're going to start digging in, decide exactly what I want to order as far as tires, decide how we're going to go about doing the air conditioning system, some of the basic stuff. Probably start studying up on our vacuum system for the cruise control, find out if that was like controlled by the ECM or not. Obviously, if it's controlled by the ECM, we're not going to be able to do much with it. I'd also like to talk to a shop that does like the touch-up paint. You know, they can mix whatever color in a spray can to touch up. I'd like to get some of the bad spots that are on the car cleaned up so that I don't have to worry about it becoming too much rust. If it was just going to be solely my car, I would probably clear coat it because I kind of dig the, you know, worn patina look on it. But with it being my daughter's car, it's going to be her daily driver to school, you know, probably at least until she gets out of high school. So I want it to be, you know, just good, solid, guaranteed to show up and go home every day type of car. So that's where we're at. I think if you've watched very many of my videos, you know I have a 1984 four-wheel drive GMC, and I have a 1984 two-wheel drive four-door with no driveline in it. It was built by Western Hauler back in the day. It's a pretty cool truck, cool colors on the side of it. But it, you know, it needs basically everything. Those are kind of the two next steps I want to go to. So the LS swapped four-wheel drive truck, I think I might have to swap a cam in it. I think we've already talked about that. And then I need to drop transmission and transfer case. We got some leaks going on. Get that cured up. And then that thing's solid as a rock. Other than that, I've drove it for 1,600 miles so far. Never once have I been worried it's gonna leave me stranded. I hate leaks. That's probably my biggest pet peeve. I'd love for these things to not have a single drip to them and, you know, just cruise right along. So get those things fixed up and it'll be in great shape. I also got to do some interior to that one. And that's really about all I want to do to my four-wheel drive truck. So, and then of course the Western Hauler is everything. It just needs to be cleaned up. The body panels have to get put back on the front end. We have to find a motor and transmission, get the drive line going good again. And then once, you know, we get to that point, we have to figure out brakes. The whole works. Like everything is missing from it other than like the bare bones. So it'll need a dash pad. I don't know how the air conditioning system is in it, you know, how much of the parts are still there. So yeah, y'all, leave a comment if you want to have a certain thing you want me to work on next. Until then, I'll see y'all next time. Check out that video for the rear shocks if you're looking into doing those. I think I put it together relatively well. I'm also going to do a review on the hooker headers if you want to hear my opinion about these hooker headers. So yeah, hit me up. We'll see y'all next time.